This is the opportunity of a lifetime for teens who've had few in theirs. Think of this as a training session for the next generation of change makers. Fantasia Bryan Hall is 15, and like everyone here, comes from a high-risk neighborhood in Toronto.
I barely know anyone. I only know like a few people here, so I'm very excited to meet everyone and explore around.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Everyone's nice.
She's here with her friend Kofi Oben, neighbors in Toronto's Moss Park, one of 31 communities considered among Toronto's most vulnerable places to live. It has one of the highest crime rates in the city. 1 in 3 residents live in poverty. But Kofi and Fantasia don't think that's what defines it. Tell me about your neighborhood.
A good thing about my neighborhood is probably the food and places to go, like community centers and everything.
What are some of the more challenging things about your neighborhood?
One of the hard things about living in my neighborhood is there's some people that don't really have help and don't really have homes to go to, and it's like other kids don't really have that lifestyle where they hear sirens and everything.
An example of the stark social and economic inequalities that exist within the city.
It can be dangerous, just me as a kid, a 15-year-old kid walking, it can be pretty scary sometimes knowing that anything can happen in 1 second. Stuff can go bad real quick.
Brick. We got all day, General. Come on, you'll hit one.
Against that worry is this camp, held over 12 weekends on a sprawling estate outside the city. The face of it is this guy. You might know him. Noah Shebib. Most call him 40. A global music powerhouse, partner and producer of many of superstar Drake's hits. And this camp is part of what he sees as a payback.
This is much more important to me than, traveling the world and being a music superstar. This is where I'd rather be.
40 is helping to fund this camp. He's not black, as many participants are, and does not want to dictate what should happen here. But the impact for him is personal.
I've been in pretty close proximity to violence in the city of Toronto that's affected me gravely. There's a huge cohort of youth in the city that are, in my opinion, neglected because of the fact that they have been criminalized on some level. Those youth that are often neglected by the system and that probably need the most attention and resources.
Hello, how are we doing?
The camp itself began on a rainy Saturday at 6 a.m. 38 kids, strangers on that first morning, who showed promise within their community. Once at the farm, just watch the excited faces. For all, their first time ever at a camp.
I feel a bit special because, I personally got chosen to come into this program. It's a lot of fresh air, too, a lot of open space.
This camp is part of the Tim Hortons Foundation. It's a rare treat, an opportunity to explore things most have never had access to before.
What do you think about this place?
It's cool.
Yeah.
You get comfortable with yourself and with trying new things.
It's not just about a natural escape from that urban pressure cooker, but instilling confidence and a strong sense of community through structured camp-based learnings.
You're putting power in their hands, right? You're equipping them with the confidence that they need to go and have, outstanding careers, right? Hopefully the next Drake is in this group.
Yunus Hassan, co-founder of Justice Fund Toronto, is one of the program organizers. He too grew up in a neighborhood facing challenges.
The neighborhoods where we brought these kids from, these are neighborhoods that have historically underinvestments in affordable housing, in food insecurity, in transit. And as a result, violence happens in these neighborhoods. Access to camping, access to the lakes, swimming, fisheries. None of that is known for our communities. And it's because fear has been brought into Black and Indigenous communities that these spaces are not for them.
Key to disrupting that is getting the communities themselves to design this camp, not some outside group that's never known poverty or danger.
There's been a lot of programs and initiatives created for Black and Indigenous communities, never by Black and Indigenous communities.
Today, 40 is at the camp to give the kids a crash course on producing music, one of the many different workshops the teens get to attend.
Last week, we actually learned about your core values in life, like family, like just health, like physical health and mental health, and staying like independent, trying to rely on yourself, do your own thing, like put in the work on your own.
Marley is a mentor here, a young man on a new path, diverted from a life involved in crime, helping others now to follow him on a different course.
You know, they're gonna say, yo, what's my place as a young Black man in this world, you know? So maybe they can look at me and I can be a positive example. I'm just trying to pay it forward and be an example, you know, be an example. Because you can explain something to someone, but showing them, they might get it a lot more.
Yeah.
As others are also helping to lead him. Marley is an aspiring musician, and the camp has given him new skills to pursue that dream.
Real, because confidence go conquer doubt. Lord knows I got karma from bringing drugs in my mama's house. I see God right in the mirror, the only Lord I know is myself. That's just a little, like, that's my mindset right there, right now.
That's really good.
Respect, brother.
Yeah. How are you where you are now?
I'm doing a lot better. My life growing up was a little rough, you know? Like, I was involved with the big homies was doing on the block. You know what I mean? Selling drugs, you know what I'm saying? Around guns and weapons and stuff like that. I lived that life. I was about that life. Because that's all the important people in my life who care for me, that's what they was doing. And even though I know they weren't bad people, you still become a product of your environment when you don't know nothing else.
They go down and then they go down and I go down.
The goal at the end, 38 young people leaving more confident with pride in their community. Most of all, a reset of what's possible, raising the bar for a younger generation, an investment in creating a future many may not have thought of as possible. David Common, CBC News, Toronto.
3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Thank you, folks.